For all the Seahawks fans out there, for my fellow 12 Nation, big win against the Giants today. That was exciting. I will say that I was solely impressed with our ability to clamp down on Saquon Barkley in the run defense there. We had our lapses for sure. We had some issues, some sneaky turnovers and stuff like that. But that's football. You got to overcome the adversity. But yeah, Seattle 5-3 out in front of the division. Nobody could have seen this coming. And this is becoming a bigger story than just Geno Smith alone. This is becoming a story of a complete team game, week in and week out, in all phases, really performing really well. If it wasn't for some silly mistakes in the last few weeks, some of these teams are held under 10 points. Seattle, I saw this on the Hawks Nest blog. I was watching his post game there on my drive home. I was listening to that, and Seattle first few weeks DVOA was last in defense, and over the last 3 weeks they are number 1 in DVOA. So shout outs to him for digging that out because. Man, what a turnaround by the defense. Like, all of a sudden, teams can't really score touchdowns unless we gift it to them. Like, what is going on? I mean, Clint Hurt, huge pat on the back. And you know what? He doesn't have the craziest personnel. Like, Ryan Neal is really like a good player, but he's not like, maybe a great player. He still is forced to use guys in linebacking like Cody Barton and stuff like that. So, man, they just really have shifted their philosophy and their pre-snap stuff. And, man, they're able to stop teams from running. And when you make a team one-dimensional, when Carroll is able to make a team one-dimensional, the Seahawks are really dangerous with all the weapons that they have right now. There's so much to talk about in that Seahawks game that I want to get into tonight if you guys have time. But, yeah, shout yourselves out. Who do we got in here? I've been watching you since you started. Just subscribed yesterday, actually. Hey, Greg. How's it going, man? Greg DeBoard. Thank you, Geno, Nicholas Newton, the original Geno Smith fan. Been following him since West Virginia, one of the population of the world's 8 billion or so people that knew Geno Smith was going to go absolutely ham and crazy this season. Crazy. Waldron is off the hook, Scott. Shout out to you, Scott. Bernard Waldron has been just masterful, man. And even when plays don't hit, like, the way that they're crafted and the levels of things that are working are just amazing. There was one set I didn't like today. There was only one play on third down where they had, two wides way out wide there, and it seemed like they weren't taking advantage of the zone. That was about it, though. Other than that, man, this game could have been way more of a blowout than we saw. This could have been easily a 30-something, 34-3 game if Tyler didn't spin around and drop that ball. And that's the tale of the last couple weeks here. It seems like, if we limit these turnovers and limit where we're turning the ball over, it's teams are having a hard time throwing. And it reminds me of the emergence of the original LOB. I'm not going to jump the gun here, but Woolen and Bryant and that back half is now becoming really, really dangerous to throw against on the outsides. And you saw all that was really available today was the curl route, the comeback routes from Darius Slayton on Mike Jackson. And later in the game, Mike Jackson even adjusted and started picking up on that route quicker. But if you can limit teams from scoring explosive plays and force them to just, not dink and dunk, because we've even kind of eliminated teams' ability to do that. But come back to the ball and just only get 10, 11 yards at most at a time. Wow, you can really win games. Let's get into the chat section here. These guys are off the hook. They are, Greg. This team is off the hook. Just dropped a video about how the Seahawks are changing the narrative. A little bit of a trap because it's a lot of a focus on what happened in this game. But we have a great energy right now, and they are really, really firing away on people and hitting hard and excited as a team. Dave Wright says, loved hearing the fans chanting, Geno, Geno, Geno. Yeah, amazing. If you've been following my channel, I'm super proud of him because I wanted Locke to start. I'm not going to front. I thought that Geno couldn't close out games in the fourth quarter. This was the game. I was already sold on Geno, once he started breaking out. I'm very humble. You know what I mean? But this was the game where he was playing a good defense. The game was close, and he threw to win the game. And that is something I've been waiting to see for Smith, as well as he's been playing. I've been waiting to go up against a good defense with exotic blitz packages and a good secondary and throw to win the game. And he did that. That drive that they went to go up was just, man, I can't wait to watch it and analyze that. Maybe I'll do my first like actual X's and O's kind of Top Billin-esque Samuel Gold video on that drive. Changed my narrative, the narrative about this team. Seattle, the momentum had left them. What are they going to do? They were starting to get pressure, the Giants. Leonard Williams come back in the game, and Geno goes, I forget the exact sequence. Let's break it down here. I think he goes Tyler spin moves away to the baseline when people think he's going to go down. Yeah, I might do one, Greg, if I can figure that out. Then we go DK. DK gets a couple catches. We isolate Goodwin on that drive. And then we go play, we just go on a drop back and throw. Somebody said about the adversity of Tyler Lockett. I mentioned that in my last video I just dropped, but you don't have to check that out now. Check it out later. When Tyler was down after dropping that pass, let alone the fumble, which is very uncharacteristic, you almost know inside Tyler is such a good football player that something's going to happen and he's going to bounce back. You know what I mean? And for them and Pete to walk over to him and Geno to walk over him, it's almost like Pete, instead of them dwelling, they're so seasoned, Pete goes like, Pete's like, hey, Tyler, don't worry about it, man, but I got to ask you something. Was that play there? Was it open? Was that corner fade? Was that route open? And instead of dwelling, it's like, the unheard of things is Tyler's probably like, yeah, let's do it again. And just waiting for his moment. And for Geno and for them to audible that and for them to go back to that throw was so gutsy and just throw it to the exact same spot that he dropped it. And Geno to hit it again, man. I was at my friends who made some food, and I jumped out of my seat. Guys and ladies and gentlemen, like, that defines what this Seahawks team is about this year. And they are dangerous, no US, but they are, man, they're so resilient and just so scrappy and feisty. What other team would do that? Others might resort to yelling. Yeah, the cohesiveness of this team. I hardly ever do it, but I went on the actual Seahawks.com site just to get some insight there from the national press, media level stuff. And I was looking through the pictures of the game because you know how Seahawks.com breaks down those really beautiful, I think it's Greg Bell. I forget who not Bell, but the photographer of the Seattle Seahawks is amazing. And there was a picture of the defense on the sideline, and I think it was after Shelby Harris had tap danced his way down to track down Daniel Jones in the flat there to prevent a first down. Pivotal play. It was like watching a cruise ship try to get up to speed. Shelby Harris tracking down Jones in the flat. But you could see that there was the screen capture, the shot that they got of Harris, all the defense, all the big guys in the huddle with all the secondary, Clint Hurt smiling. But on the sideline, there was Darrell Taylor in plain clothes, right? And the whole game, I was thinking, man, I didn't see DT. I didn't watch, I didn't really see him much on the sideline, and I was concerned about like how his energy would be. And he is in this photo. If you guys go through it, it's deep in the photos, like photo 50 to 77. He's so excited that Shelby Harris tracked down, like the facial expression on Darrell Taylor. Not even playing, like just in plain clothes and sweats, is so happy and so excited for his teammate. That is what I'm so stoked about this Seattle Seahawks team. They are a true brotherhood, and they got female on staff, brotherhood, sisterhood, family. Like, this is a connected team, and it's early in the season in a way. A lot of pundits, a lot of people will come and flood these channels and say you're homers and they're 5-3 and they haven't done this and that, but I'm not even looking at the record. I'm not even looking at that right now. I'm just looking at the psychology of the team right now, and it just looks like a real complete together squad who doesn't get down on each other like you guys have said, and really wants to just make a huge play every game, and that is happening. All right. We held them to 2.5. Yeah, 2.5 yards per carry for what maybe the number one ranked rushing offense outside of us or whatever with Saquon Barkley. And, that's unheard of. When 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, you would have said Seattle, couldn't stop anything from running, me included. Wow, it's just mind blowing. We got 11 people in the chat. Shout yourselves out here. Greg DeBoard recently subscribed. Thank you so much. Has been watching the channel. How about the field goal block? That wasn't. See the defender's reaction. Yeah, that was like when things are going, it's going. You know what I mean? That was a nice block by that interior defensive lineman, and Myers just gets enough Oscar Mayer mustard on that on that kick to just push it right through and just like push through, and yeah, like that could have easily been a 34-3 game for the Seattle Seahawks, who are really, like, you guys know me, you know my channel by now. They're really just impressive. I'm starting to shift from thinking, it's early, but wild card to like maybe even winning the NFC West here. Obviously, watching the Niners today, you look at the prowess of McCaffrey, and you got to respect that. He's really good, but the Seattle Seahawks are doing this with very little actual investment outside of the trades and getting a lot of capital. We paid our guy, DK. We did what we did that way, but the Niners haven't gone and blown huge capital and made all these crazy trades. I mean, not since Jamal, and wow, like we have one of the most competitive teams in the NFL right now with what we have, with what we created. Wow, I'm watching the game right now. Aaron Rodgers, just watching him fall apart is really hard. You know what I mean? Like, not that I have any love for them, but the collapse of these veterans is a very stiff cliff. Russell, if he can get healthy, maybe he can do some things still, but the cliff is clear him without him being able to run really well, and he's just getting pounded out there. But Rodgers and Brady have just, it's been a steep learning curve for them not having a fully healthy team, and the narrative is changing in this league. We've got a lot of teams are up and coming, and it's great that Seattle is one of them. You know what I mean? It's fun that the Seahawks are in that conversation of the up and coming teams, not the teams on the downward strike trajectory. Yeah, we got 6 in the chat here. Show yourselves out, whoever's in here. We got a nice night of football here, almost at the halftime. You think that we can win against Tampa Bay and KC? This is a question from Gangrene. What's that? Gangrena Game says, do you think we can win against Tampa or KC? Tampa Bay for sure looks susceptible right now. I don't think we match up the best against them in the ways that they have really good linebacking. But with Shaquille Barrett out, the way Brady's throwing the ball right now is not very good. Man, I definitely think we have a chance to sneak that game. KC might be a bit exotic offensively for this young secondary with Mahomes' mobility outside of the pocket. I chalked that up as an L before the season started, as well as Tampa. But now at this point in time, with this Seahawks team, I cannot count them out against anybody, especially the way that we are getting in and out of games with relatively good health. And we haven't, I feel, showed all of our cards in terms of our offensive and defensive playbook. We've really been getting away games pretty clean. And, this game was closer than it's kind of felt in some weeks. But when we pulled away, we pulled away. And, these young Bucks are just balling out of control. And the vets, too. Really, really great to see. What do you guys think? Do you guys think we can knock off the Chiefs? I mean, when you break it down, it would suck if Kadarius Toney comes out there healthy, but you know what? Like, once again, in the passing game, if you can limit Kels, it's Kels. You can get tricky and limit him and force them to beat us with Edwards-Helaire and Mahomes' legs. Maybe our defense is just so young and fast in the secondary that people are underrating what they're able to do. What's up, Cameron? What's up, my man? Great game today. Hey. That's a good question. Can we beat these reputable Tampa Bays and these types of guys? This is a fun season, Greg. Absolutely. Yannick Perez Verti, my guy, says, I'm here, and are we going to the Super Bowl or what? Go Hawks. You know what? Anything is possible, man. That will be probably the most legendary Super Bowl story outside of the greatest show on turf, I guess. if that was to happen. Yannick says, yeah, still a long way to go, but that's the same for a team. Uh, Halftime of the conference championship. Let's fly. Go Hawks. Let's fly. Let's fly high. Great game today against the 6-2 Giants. Absolutely. And I know the Giants were banged up, and I know, we were too a bit, though. And Pete really did troll them with Tyler and DK, though. I don't know. The league might want to look into that, might want to investigate a little bit. I'm just kidding. But Tyler and DK, I knew Tyler was going to play. I didn't know if they would play DK at all, but he looked fast as ever. So that patellar tendon injury, that's suspect, man. They played that up because DK, I saw him planting on routes. He was getting in and out of breaks and stuff. Maybe he was a little sore. And Tyler's hammy there, like whatever. Those guys are really fast. So if our team is still limping up a bit, and that injury report was extensive for Seattle and the Giants as well, absolutely. I will give them that. And I like this Giants team. I like Dable for sure. They're not crybabies, you know what I mean? We just got an upward trajectory here. If these guys are still kind of not fully healthy, and we can get through some of these games into the bye, and just get some of these other backup players some experience. Like you saw some guys get some snaps at the end of this game there. That's going to vote super, super well for the Seattle Seahawks going into the second half of the season. So, let's be realistic here. I mean, if we can just split the next couple of games, I wouldn't be surprised if the Cardinals throw the kitchen sink at Seattle, the Statue of Liberty play, gets grimy. Just stay healthy. You know what I mean? That's all you really got to do. I was worried about when Jamal went down. That would be the story of the season. People stepping up a lot of injuries. Yeah, we held our own. Yes. And at safety, Ryan Neal, he was I think he got hurt today, his ankle. He's been playing fantastic football. And then I just look at the depth of the team, right? You're totally right, Greg. We are well-rounded. I look at the depth of the team, and, they have Joey Blunt there. They have that Nelson kid on the PS. Like, they're deep. Like, Seattle's deep in the secondary. Absolutely. Like, Sidney Jones isn't even getting snaps, and he's a starting cornerback in the NFL. Like, and we are just like, man. Trey Brown returning. Shelby Harris looking healthier again. Darrell Taylor getting a week of rest. These are the types of things that go a long, long way over a long course of a season. Not forcing the hand. They didn't force it today, Seattle. They took what was given to them and tried to keep the guys as healthy as possible. And that's really, really huge. Yeah, absolutely. Sydney. Who else isn't getting minutes, right? Mike Jackson just came and took a job. And Mike Jackson, he's not as good as Trey Brown, but man, can you keep him off the field? I mean, he's maybe our weakest link for sure in coverage, but boy, can he come up and tackle, right? And that's been just awesome. Gino looks more confident every week, and he's already confident against the Broncos. 49ers is the real fluke of the season. Yeah, like that 49ers defense was at its peak when it was playing us. You know what I mean? So I don't fault Gino for that. I mean, we had two rookie. Wow, Stephon Diggs. They're just killing these guys, man. Jeez. Diggs may have gone down there. Anyway, yes, like if that was the worst that we were able to play and just not hit throws with our rookies, like maybe what was that, the second game of the year? Like some of those guys, that was their second NFL game. I watched the game intently today. I haven't watched it on replay. I'll watch it again tonight. This is the Giants-Seahawks game, that is. But boy, Tariq Woolen is becoming like an absolute shutdown corner. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's getting out of control. Like, not that the Giants were going to throw much, but Woolen is looking really confident out there and taking advantage of his opportunities. And, man, if he learns how to just jump those routes instead of making them 50-50 wrestle balls, because he gets such a receiver mind at that point, if he changes that receiver pace to like Sherman's IQ to just jump the route and just grab the ball and go for 6, that's the next evolution for that young man. And we're going to have the best cornerback in the National Football League. Kobe might become the best slot player in the National Football League, maybe outside player. That might be a bit strong to say, but I don't know. Or one of top 5 for sure. We'll see if they put Trey outside or inside when he returns. Dude, the Bills are a walking touchdown. Like, this team is crazy. Like, would I say the Seahawks could beat a team like the Bills right now? I doubt it. Like, but they are competitive. Like, they probably have a better chance than a lot of these teams based on the fact that they can just run so fast. They can at least run with players. The interior D line of Seattle would scare me against a person as fast as Josh Allen and as strong. But we got 10 likes. Thank you so much. We got 9 people, 20 minutes here. I'm going to rock and roll until I can, until I have to go. But yeah, you all tell me what you think. What do you think about this weekend's football? I mean, I haven't even really had a chance to magnify all the scoring and everything that's gone on. A busy day, but you know what? It's always great to get a dub if you're a Hawks fan. You know, I got to give credit to that Giants team. They're very feisty. You know, they don't have a really crazy roster. Their defense is really feisty. They're well coached and they're humble and they got a good future there. But they just got no receiving and Danny just isn't a clutch thrower. So I think ultimately, if Jones doesn't take him further, they're going to be looking at building around that defense with a different quarterback. Let's see what's going on. Good point on Sidney. Greg says, yeah, man, are we trading Sidney Jones and for what? Yeah, like Sidney is probably going to get shipped. You know, he's awesome. I love the player, local guy. You know, Sidney Jones is a really good corner, but he's just kind of a duplicate at position. But, you know, it wouldn't be bad to keep him either because having depth is great, and he is a good football player that can make plays. But if you can get more picks for him, think about it, because if you can get a pick for Sidney and you trade a pick for a linebacker here at the deadline or another weapon, you know, we get Brandon Cooks or something over here. Oh, my goodness. Woo! I want to see that, Brandon Cooks. Gino Himothy himself, Cameron Ashcraft says, Himothy Smith. He just changed his name. Get rid of the Gino and just call Himothy Smith. Darth Soldier says Gino ballin', Walker ballin', Mike Jackson had himself a day. Yeah, other than those comeback routes, Slayton, a good player on comebacks. You know, Mike Jackson is a great tackler. Like, boy, that guy learned how to tackle in that New England system and come downhill. And wow, you could just see him improving every game and not giving stuff. So the over-the-top stuff is gone from Mike. He's learned how to communicate with Quandre. You can see that and communicate with Jordan. So, wow, you can't really isolate him. And they try to isolate Mike, but, man, he's a sticky guy. He's right there. Bang. Our defense is a top 10 defense over the last 3 weeks, not even top 18. And in the narrative of the channel, I was saying if we can get a top 18 defense to go with this top 2 scoring offense, we could become a very, very, very dangerous team. And lo and behold, crazy Homer West is here now, and the team is on a trajectory towards the playoffs. And thank you guys for the ones that didn't call me insane. And if you did call me insane, you were justified in that, because it was a little bit crazy to think a team that was going to start this many rookies would be at times dominant. Yes, Cameron, we are going to trade Sidney, I believe. Yannick Perez, Verti, Gino looks more confident. Yeah, we broke that down. Greg DeBoard said, like how Kobe was in the spotlight in the beginning, Woolen kind of stole it. Now Kobe is hitting it hard too. Yes. So Woolen is just a freak generational talent. Kobe always was probably not necessarily like as talented physically, but just the smartest player on the field at any given time. But athletic enough, well athletic enough, and now his football IQ is really starting to show. But yeah, they reversed roles there, but they are a dynamic duo. You can guarantee those guys are best friends, and wow, they're going to ring bells out there and over the course of their career, and that's exciting. Gangrene Games, how do you deal with the great passion that we feel every time we win big games? Because sometimes we go really, really far from reality, and then we remain down to earth. Holy man, 12 people in the chat for the 12. That is an amazing question that you just asked. And I will tell you how I stay level-headed about the Seahawks wins and losses. I don't. I am outrageous. But I've been a fan of this team for like 30 seasons, so 30 years plus. So I think because I've seen the team in so many different phases, bad, good, injury riddled, on Super Bowl runs, mediocre. I say level-headed because anything could happen in a football game. But when we are playing well like this unexpectedly is probably when I'm the most excited. You know, like we've been spoiled the last 10 years. You expect the Seahawks to be at least a 500-plus team. But not expecting us to bounce back. Like I thought if we made a run this season, it would be like a late season run. But like, you know, after that second week, we just kind of came out flying, you know. But I love the sport. I understand there's 32 really good teams in it when you break it down. There's so many talented players. Like, I'm not surprised by anything in the NFL, to be honest with you. The narratives are just they shift minute to minute. Um, so I'm really excited about the defense. Let me get into that. Gangrene Game says, "Sorry, my poor English. I'm from Brazil." You know what, bro? I love it when people that speak more than one language say their English is poor. Like, no, like, you know what? There's many dialects of English. So if I could speak Portuguese or Brazilian Portuguese, that would be a miracle. I basically speak a little Spanish, a little French. So your English is not poor. You can speak in multiple languages. So relax and be easy on yourself. If you want to speak in Brazilian Portuguese in here and teach us that and type all in that and have me translate it, I'll do that for you, man. That's how much I love the people on the Seahawks Times. Cameron Ashcroft, Darth Soder, yeah, Gino Ballin. I missed the interceptions from Woolen. I mean, he almost robbed one today. There were some popped up balls today. Chill. You know what? This is what happens when you stop throwing at people, right? Like, this isn't a throwing team, but you see it when you throw around Tariq. It's scary every time. Yeah, no worries, mate. We understand about the English thing. Speak whatever you want here. Just don't call us late to supper. Cameron Ashcroft. Yeah. Oh, the question was, is our defense a top 10 now? It is. By DVOA, it's number 1 over the past 3 weeks. By DVOA, awaiting. We're not quite there yet to the best defense in the NFL, but we could become one of the best scoring defenses in the NFL. Let's get back to it here. Dart Soldiers. Oh, I missed some here. Yeah, Greg DeBoard says how Gino protects the ball, makes very few mistakes. I like that. Rather take a sack rather than, yeah. And like, we're learning every game how to be more and more protective of the football and smarter with the ball. And we are not giving up those late game sacks that compromise Gino from coughing up a strip sack. And Gino's just really reading things really, really well. And Blythe is, really commanding things at the line of scrimmage for protections. It all looks really good. Greg DeBoer said, "Hi, I don't stay level-headed either." Yeah, no, I'm not that guy. Don't ask Seahawktopmist Prime, a guy who calls himself his nickname Seahawktopmist Prime, if he's level-headed about Seahawks football. I have a channel in my unfinished basement about the Seahawks when I could be doing productive home projects. Sub 12's good game tonight is predicted. Sygen, always great to have you in here. Yannick says there's no way back. I'm a believer. I watched plays on the spot with few full of knowledge defensives. Well, I guess you're saying he's breaking down the defenses, throwing dimes. Yes, K9, every play has a chance. Every single play, K9 gets the ball. It feels like if he's not shoestring tackled, he's going to score. That guy is going to be one of the best ever, I think, man. Greg DeBoer says, true Yannick. Am I a soccer guy? Cameron Ashcroft, he says, I say, yes, I am. I do love... I love Premiership soccer the most. That's my thing. I'm not a big MLS guy, really. My dad being a heavy African dude and soccer fan, where I'm more on that kind of vibe, national soccer and Premiership soccer mostly. But good question. What are we doing here? Thank you. He laughed his ass off. Yo, man, let us come to Brazil and have some food with you, man. You don't need to apologize about anything. Brazil's so awesome. I've never been. I know it has its dangerous parts, but Brazil, man, come on. Cameron Ashcroft, if so, I can't wait for the World Cup. And what's my team? You know what? I'm a homer in the sense, since we're a big African style family, I go with those teams. But I do have some Canadians in my family, so I might be going for Canada this year. Liverpool, no, quite the opposite. It's don't unfriend me. My brother's a Pool fan, but I'm City guy. Man City, that is. What's up, my friend? Let's see what's going on here. Sorry, it sucks streaming from the phone, but it's the best way to keep a steady connection. What a win today, Julian. You're absolutely right, my friend. Greg DeBoer laughs his ass off. Miko Cam 10 says, Wes, my brother, happy Sunday. Always love chatting with you on your streams. What an amazing game today. We may be building the next juggernaut who's going to take on Buffalo and KC, and that's how I see it. there's some really, really strong teams out there. But if Seattle puts together another good draft and just keeps everything together and keeps the vibe going, the rhythm going, God, man, we could really be one of the best top 5 NFL teams. Um, Cardinals look like they're kind of falling apart. You know what I mean? The Rams are falling off. Shout out the Niners for saving their year by bringing in CMC, but they're two to three starting players away, the Niners, from not being a very good team. And I don't mean that in an egregious way. They're just not that deep, as it proved as their guys came out. So they've leveraged the farm while we have just so much capital everywhere. Gino is just slinging the rock like he did at West Virginia as a kid. Like, he's just free, man. It's like these guys are playing free, like playground football, but with the disciplined mentality. Just beautiful to watch, really, if you're a Seahawks fan. Just doing the unthinkable. Whew. I'm excited, guys. Cameron says, I'm a Man City, but I'm rooting for Argentina this year. Man City, you're a City guy too, Cam. City. Yeah, Messi. He's a fantastic football player to watch. Soccer, that is. Darth Soldier says, got to get the picana. Got to get that picana. Yeah. Greg DeBoard says, some QB have pressure. I don't know what picana means, by the way. I better be careful going on that. That could be egregious. But clarify what that is for me, because I can't Google it. Some QB have pressure to throw their highly paid wide receiver star, but Gino just sharing the love. Yeah, like, these guys are not selfish. DK got some money. He's going to get more money before he's 27. He'll be a 100 millionaire plus 10. He's happy. Tyler's happy. These guys are concerned with winning. They're not concerned with the narrative or, how they look and, their pregame fits. Like, these guys are just having fun. Like, you can imagine these guys just balling out together on the plane and having fun. Nady, my XX Nady XX, one of the most fluid Seahawks commenters online in general. Put some respect on our name. Put some respect on our name. Put some respect on our name. That was bad, actually. But yeah, put some respect on. Yeah, we blew out everybody we faced. This could have been a blowout today, even more so than it was, and we're looking savage. If Gino hits a couple more of those throws or those guys run the right routes, like, it's getting crazy. What do we do, guys? Do we go after some running back depth? Homer looked okay. Like, what do we go after? Do we go after Brandon Cooks or who else can ball, man? Like, there's some receivers out there. Yeah, man, Cam, I'm legitimately a Man City fan, bro. That's crazy. Which is nuts. Greg DeBoard makes us more dynamic. Absolutely. Does make us dynamic. Good point. Going for the Broncos' first-round pick. That Broncos' first-round pick. They snuck out a win today. But, yeah, that's going to be a top-half pick. That's not a good team. Sneaking out a win because you're playing Trevor Lawrence in London, in London Bridge is not going to impress me much. I gave him the Shania treatment. I literally just said this is the Jay in the Bay chat and was well received. Holland is so good, bro. Yeah, man. The Holland song, yeah. That guy's crazy. That guy's like off that Viking show from Discovery. It's just like, he's just like, what do I do, coach? Just like, how fast is that guy? I've never seen a Viking run that fast since Vikings on, Vikings the series. Like, how fast is bro? Sygen, yes, sir. We beat the Cardinals, then the Chargers, then the Giants. All good teams. Yeah, it's our time. Yeah, people need, and I love it. And I've said this, until we're a 7-win team, 7 wins with lots of games left, no one's really going to really think much about us. They're going to say we did this or that, and these guys didn't do this or that, and this and the other thing. Like, our team's still getting healthy. Like, watch out. Like, we're just getting healthy. We got some trade capital. We can get a couple players here at the deadline. Man, I'm telling you guys, I like the buy low on Brandon Cooks. I don't know what we would have to do to give Cooks, but I'm really, really high on Brandon Cooks. I'd give up as high as a second to get Brandon Cooks on this team, because if you think that Marquise Goodwin can do some things in an offense like this, oh my God, if we had Brandon Cooks, oh, please let it happen. I went to the Lions Seahawks game, so good. Yeah, Julian, you rocked out there. And that's dope. We had another person in the chat here that went to that game, one of my homies from the chat here that's from Chicago. He said it was amazing. That would have been an amazing game to be at. So much scoring. So shout out to you, Julian. Um, I got to go back a little bit here. Sajin said, "Yes, sir. We beat the Cardinals and the Chargers. Then the Giants. Yep. Darth Soldier says picana is a favorite amongst Brazilian steakhouses. It's the queen of yes. Shout outs Brazilian food steakhouses, amazing. I love the vibe of this team, says Nati. I seen a picture of DK, Tyler, and Gino together at the press conference, laughing together. You love to see that. So Nati, if you go on my channel, I actually have that in the thumbnail, that picture, and the title of that video is the Seahawks are changing. The NFL narrative is shifting about this team. And they go to the press conference together in plain clothes, like casual clothes. I think it's kind of like a bit of a troll on how Gino dresses, maybe. But man, this team's really got something special. It's really, really cool. Yannick says, what do you think? Sorry, guys. What do you think the chat? What do you think and the chat think about Pete and Gino went to Lockett after his drop? And yeah, so go watch the video I dropped, Yannick. I'll explain that in that video. Watch that tonight. The most recent video upload that I had, Yannick. I think that explains it well, but I'll share what I said there. It shows everything about this team. It shows what this team is. The belief that they have in each other when each other are down. So they're picking each other up in all aspects. Everybody swarmed Tyler and said, "You're the man, bro. Do not worry about this." And Pete Carroll goes up to him and says, "You know what, Tyler? We're going to run the same play. Keep your head up." And what did he do? Tyler Lockett, quickly becoming a Seahawk, already a legend, is just, man, it brings a tear to your eye that they went back to him on that throw and hit him there. And he's just awesome. Just so good, and so much momentum comes off of that play. Pete is having himself a having highlights himself this season for sure. Tripping up the ref, that was funny. I'd like to keep Gino. Be good to get a next gen QB and sit and learn. What do you? Who do you pick for this year's draft and QB? Maybe a starter in the future. So I've been really high on Will Levis, Greg, but I don't know that we need to go there now. Maybe we do a 2-year front-loaded contract with Smith, draft one of the later, not later, but second, third round QB prospects, Anthony Richardson, Cam Ward, those kind of guys. Tutelage under Gino, someone who's got a lot of legs about them. I really like Anthony Richardson because he plays at Florida without a lot of receiving, has an underrated arm, and is probably the best running back, big running quarterback since Josh Allen, like in terms of his strength. I think if we had a guy like that and Gino can teach him how to make the reads, that could get crazy with Ken Walker. So I like that idea at this point in time. Wouldn't be mad at any of those guys, though. Bryce Young, yeah, I wouldn't be mad at any of it. But I like someone who's durable. I want someone who can take hits and really thug it out. Natty says, where do you see us going this year? Like, how far do you think this team makes it this year? The NFC is wide open. So one of my earlier videos, I say, the NFC is trash. Part of the reason the Seahawks can make the playoffs here. The Eagles are really good. The Giants have a good defense. The Cowboys are the Cowboys. I never trust them until I see them like really dominate a playoff caliber team. But they are good. I can see us going as far as our health and our running and defense take us, because we have an elite passing game with elite tight ends and elite receivers, guys, which we can add to. So I think if we add some receiving, or we have an emergence of a Derek Young, continuation of a progression from an Eskridge or something like that, we could go pretty far. So I don't know. My ceiling right now in my mind is like the NFC Championship game. Like that's kind of becoming a reality, because I think we're as good as any other team that isn't the Eagles right now in the NFC. Real talk, brass tacks. Like, do you really think like the Saints are like who's better, right? The Niners, the Niners are a great team too still. So you might be able to put them on the pedestal in that sense because of the defense they have and McCaffrey, but they also have Garoppolo, who just proves to throw away games when needed. Like, even my best Niners friends will tell you that. Like, that's the Achilles heel. And Gino's not making mistakes like that. So who knows? If the defense progresses, the world's our oyster. Do you really think Pete and John will pull the trigger on Cooks? Like, I don't know. Like, the thing with Brandon Cooks is, like, let's look at how old is Brandon Cooks? He's 27, 28? I don't know, but he's one of those guys that could keep going, right? So maybe it depends on what the capital is, At this point in time, I'm thinking, okay, if I could have this guy as my like third weapon, it'd be really a lot to handle Brandon Cooks, Tyler Lockett, and because Brandon Cooks has been good with any quarterback on the worst teams or the best teams. Like he's been good with everybody. So, man, if you get him healthy with Tyler and Cooks, that's almost unstoppable in my opinion. With Metcalf and our tight ends, and Ken can come out of the backfield. I don't know, guys. Cooks is 29. Yeah. So maybe they want to offload him and you give up a third or a fourth or something. I don't know. I don't think you have to give up crazy amounts, but you have to pay Brandon Cooks. That's the thing. You've got to take the money on the chin. But Cooks is going to be good for a long time still. He's never depended purely on speed. And I just vision this, guys. This is what I mean. On like how Robert Woods was, and this is what they wanted Eskridge to be, was the Robert Woods with that old Rams offense, crossing. Goodwin is not that type of guy, but Cooks has the lower body strength and the spatial awareness to catch on the go in the middle of the field. And these are throws that Geno can make. Wow, because if you have that and then DK and Tyler doing whatever, that just leaves Uncle Will and everybody else wide open, like wide open. So, yeah, exactly. I just like the fit, right? You bring in Brandon Cooks. You say, Brandon, we could keep you here till you're like 31, see how it looks. You're coming to a good team, and you might even sneak into the dance out of this if we put the whole thing together. And I think he would like to go there because he played at Oregon, you know what I mean, and he played for LA, and like he's familiar with the NFC West. You probably want to like get out of Texas, maybe. No disrespect to Texas, but he's been in Houston for a long time. That organization is really bad. Like they don't have a good reputation for treating players well. Obviously, they got no disrespect to their fan base or their players, but I think everyone could agree their organization is a little bit weird, so. That'd be a good look for him. I think that's a good play. And I'm willing to give up some of the capital. Not big capital, but some of it. Maybe some players, See what happens. That's my number one target right now. I know that Brandon Nelson Seahawks broke down some other really good options in one of his videos you should check out. But he's constantly updating who. I look at it pseudo. I don't do a lot of videos like that, but I do follow a lot of like who's on the FA stream. But teams are going to blow up after today, so you don't really know because a lot of these teams are going to be out of contention right now. DJ Moore played too well. He'd cost you too much money. You're not going to go after OBJ. It's just not the fit. He wouldn't come to, it's really weird. You really got to look around the league and think about, who's not going anywhere as a team and, what you could do out of that. AJ Dillon breaking a big run here. The Bills' defense is really good and really aggressive, but they are susceptible to getting scored on. It's just that they will outscore you so much. It seems like KC is just the only team that has enough tempo in the AFC to keep up with the Bills. But they're susceptible to missing tackles and stuff. They're just really feisty. But God, man, this Packers team is no longer a juggernaut, is what it is. I'm watching the game, by the way, as I talk to you fine folks here. We got 14 people. We got 20 likes. Shout out Seahawks Times. Give me my likes. Give me my, get me my subs. The channel's really taken off in the last couple weeks. Over 1,500 subscribers. I thank you so much. I do my best not to pump the channel because it really annoys people, I think. But I just hope it builds organically. So I was ranting there. Cooks is 29. Let's go. You screw up, you make it up. Seahawks, that is what it is. That's what we do. Love this team, man. I'm always excited for the Hawks when the season starts. But it is a different feeling, Natty. It's a totally different feeling this year. It gives me that vibe of like when we started getting good with the Hasselbeck team and when we started getting good with the Wilson era team. It gives me that feeling, maybe times 10, times 12. Yeah, I agree. I think the Eagles are the only top-tier team. Going back to my other conversation there, everyone else we could 100% beat, for sure. I don't think we're, like, necessarily world-beating yet, but nobody wants to play us right now. That's a fact. I think the Eagles could choke down the line. They may peak early. They're not a deep team. I think they're susceptible in their secondary as good as they're playing. They're not a deep squad, so once again, whoa, what a hit. Man, when that lineman comes and hits somebody that's a skill player, that is nasty. I think the Eagles choke as much as they push them. Maybe. They look really good, though. Jalen Hurts is really good. Cooks deserves, yeah. Greg DeBoard says, I got to go, man. Love your videos. Watch all of them. Thanks for the live chat and interacting with all of us, Seahawktopmist Primes. You got the goods. Keep it up. Go hard. No ceiling. Yes, thank you, Greg. Much love. Thank you for the subscription earlier. Yeah, I'll do my best for the film study stuff. I just don't like doing what other people are so amazing at. You know, like Maddie and them on the Overload podcast. Shout outs to those guys. No one gives them enough credit. Maddie over there in England and Griffin, and I forget the other guy's name. They're really good at breaking down football, like from a technical perspective. So shout them out. Somebody shout those guys out, my channel out to those guys, because I want to go and talk to those guys on their podcast or whatever. I want to guest on that podcast. I'll actually go on there. You know your channel's kind of growing up when you're getting porn spam from comments. We're finally getting somewhere, I guess. Porn bots or whatever. Thanks, Greg. Nutty says, yeah, I know some Texans fans. They all know the organization is bad. Yeah, they do. Who runs the NFC West? It's Seattle right now. Pete's been running it for over a decade, really. The Niners had some good push teams. I know. You got to give the last couple years to McVay. Maybe the last 3. It is what it is. Ruth Spunky Harper. Oh, sorry, we got some new people in. Joshua Mariala says that press conference DK, Tyler, and Gino really shows that the Seahawks and Pete are all about. We are different. It is awesome to watch the cohesiveness, the off-the-cuff things they're doing. You saw Charles Cross and Abraham Lucas go to a press conference together. You see Gino and them in hoodies and Tyler. They're just clowning, just having a great time. Guys are like, yo, who do you think you are, thinking that we're going to suck? Like, we're some of the best players in the world. We're some of the best coaches in the world. But we definitely have the best fans in the world. And that's Go Hawks thing. Second to us would be the Bills Mafia. Shout out to Bills Mafia because they go hard too. Ruthlessly Spunky Harper said, I'm so impressed with this Seahawks. Thanks for coming in here, Ruth. What an awesome story. This might be made into a movie. P.S. A story of the quarterback who everyone counted out. Only to come back story. Well, you know what I mean. Yes, this is on that Kurt Warner level kind of story. You know, it really is. Like, this is that kind of crazy. Who runs the NFC West? One more again. One more again is us. What was the old term thing? He used to get in the huddle and just be like, who do we know? You know, I mean, that's what it is right now. Not that active tonight that I thought it would be here in the chat. I had a crazy stream last night, but it was a little more dead. We actually have a live game going on here, but thanks everyone who's in here right now. I really appreciate everybody's support on the channel and everyone who's liking the Seahawks Times, which isn't a very old channel, but it's fun, man. I'm having a great time. You know, talking my stuff, doing my stuff, trying to keep it clean so people can come in here and listen. And trying to keep the content, like, you know, viable and as universal as possible while making it a Seahawks-focused thing, because I'm a 12, you know what I'm saying? That's what I love doing. But what do you guys think here? We got a big game against the Cardinals here, who they look like defeated. You know what I mean? Like, the Cardinals look like a team, like, no matter what they do, they look hurt. But, you know, DeAndre Hopkins, you know, it's not easy. But, man, I want Woolen Hopkins. I want Hopkins against Woolen to try to get tricky. And, you know, I want that to be scrappy. I want to see that just as a football fan, period. I'm looking forward to that matchup quite a bit. But that's going to be a tough game. But, yes, I don't know about a landslide, Chewy, because it's funny I started talking about that. Always fun, Sidegen says. I don't know if it's going to be a landslide. $10 super chat. From Giant Kumar, playoffs are that distant now, are they? Giant, one of my original friends here on the Seahawks Times, and we go way back now, talking about. I'll get back to the Cardinals question there, my friend. We go way back. Thanks for the super there, Giant. By the way, $10 super. We were like, yeah, Seahawks are a playoff team. I don't know if Giant was as gung ho about it as me, but yeah, I think you were saying, brother. It's not that crazy now. We're not that much homers in the narrative, and I didn't throw that dart at the dartboard just to hope I looked cool. I saw that draft. I analyzed that draft class with such a certain obsession. Like, watched every snap I could of every one of those players, and I was like, this is what like John Schneider and his crew must do, and they really hit it out of the park. Boye Mafe today, guys, was like one of the best like players in the league. Like, he is a freaking animal, man. Like, his knock on him was a run stop issues. Like, he couldn't set the edge. Old man Bruce out there coaching him up, man. Old man Bruce must be in Boye's ear or something, because Boye, I didn't even notice that Taylor was out, because Boye Maffei was edge rushing and stopping. It was beautiful, man. But yes, Giant, my bro, we are not even close to out of the contention for the NFC, spots here, the top tier. We are a top 10 team in the league, guys. It is what it is. Sajid says, F the Cardinals. And my dude, this is the cleanest Christian version I can give you. Take it or leave it. I'm not like goody two shoes about my stuff, but like I like it so like if somebody's watching the stream in their with their family and they want to watch West live streams and stuff, they can be eating their pulled pork sandwiches or whatever and just be like, grandma could be in the kitchen now, like, who is that? Because like I watch some live streams and stuff, and I love those types of channels too, like that go super hard and get super hood and stuff, and that's beautiful and cool, man, like people being themselves. But this is me. I'm not an over-the-top, aggressive like guy with the language and stuff, because I want to set a good example for my kids and my little ones and all that stuff. So, but you catch me around my boys like sauced on First Ave or something after a game, I might be getting some of the other words out there and stuff like that. But I hope you guys appreciate that I got to kind of PG my channel a bit, because I want to make it super universal for Hawks fans to be able to like watch their videos out loud and listen to them in their car with their little ones. I just pay respect to the family scenario there. Maybe I'll start a B channel that we just get super egregious on. It'll just be like foul. Me and Sajid just being like, screw you. Like just cussing people out. I love that comment, Sajid. That's funny. Take it or leave it. Fat Daddy Stack says, will the media take us seriously now? What is up, my brother? Fat Daddy Stacks, my boy. Yo, this guy came through and went off with supers last time. He was like, enjoy yourself. Your boy sprinkled me with super chats. What a freaking gangster. The answer is yes, they will take us seriously. The most recent video I dropped before I started live streaming today was how the Seahawks are shifting the NFL narrative. And they are doing that by doing the opposite of what everybody expected, and they have to take us seriously. But not until we're a 7 wins team, maybe a couple games in front in the NFC West, if that's possible. People still look at us like we're fluking out, because it's easy to play that, that card, like, oh, you guys lucked out in this way and that, but they don't really watch it like us. And if you're a true Seahawks fan and you're watching this, it's miraculous to you, a lot of the stories like Smith and certain things, but you're deeper entrenched in the draft class and what the decisions were made in FA with Nwosu. You're not as surprised by some elements of it, and that we have really good coaching. The most impressive thing of the last 3 weeks has been the fact that the defense and Clint hurt, like Norton was never able to make the adjustments on the fly and humble himself in that sense, and just they stuck with their guns and bled out a lot of games. Hurt is making in-game adjustments, and he was willing to change up the whole philosophy to play to the player's strengths. And when you play to player's strengths, you're looking at it. Uchenna Nwosu now probably leads the league in QB pressures. He's getting up there in sacks. Like, it's going to start really rolling when Taylor and him are going. We're going to start getting Maffei getting pressure. Now, the interior D-line can get pressure. Some of those strip sacks are going to start getting picked up. We're going to get the ball in good positions to just really dominate teams. Watch it. We turn the defense around in just 3 weeks. And, we will have games where we get stung for deep plays, and it's going to happen. This isn't freaking this isn't what we did in 2013-12 necessarily that yet, but it can be, or maybe even better. Joshua Morales with the $5 super. Thanks for the stream. I'm about to go cash out Snoqualmie Casino and get tickets for the Raiders game. Tickets won't be cheap going forward. Yo, thank you for the $5 super holler. My boy, Mr. Morales, you're at the Snoqualmie Casino. I'm jealous. That sounds fun. I hope you're winning money, not losing. My friend Taylor's going to the Raiders game as well. That's going to be a fun game. The Raiders are on their heels a bit, looking a bit one-dimensional. They'll try to run it with Jacobs. But if Saquon can't do it, can Josh Jacobs do it? We're looking good, guys. There's not a lot of answers to beat these guys. Fat Daddy Stacks with the $12 super holler, right? He said Giants had injuries, so that's why they lost. It's not that we are good. We just got lucky, aka narrative. LOL. Yep, the Giants were completely injured. If they had any resemblance of a passing game, an O-line, a defense, quarterback that isn't Daniel Jones that can actually throw, a tight end, any defensive ends, they would have beat us. How about they're not as good as us? And that game could have been a 40-3 game, if you ask me. We missed DK out there deep. Tyler missed. Tyler fumbled. Ken just got shoestring tackled in the first quarter. We are dangerous as hell, guys. We are freaking awesome. This Seahawks team is not just like... I'm at the point right now where I'm good in capitals. I'm G-O-O-D good. Like, we're good in capitals. To be great, we're going to have to beat, Tom Brady. We're going to have to just win those games, too, on a bigger stage. And if that stage happens to be London or Germany or something like that, man, it's just so much fun. That's all I can say, guys. Like, we're having so much freaking fun out here. Man, thank you for that super chat. Fat Daddy Stacks, that means the world to your boy here. And Joshua Morales, you got to come over here more. Yeah, man, shout outs to you for cashing out at Suquomi and going getting those ticks for that big time game, which I think we can win any game we play these days. I know I'm a bit of a high right now, but I'm more realistic than I may seem because I am the Seahawktopmist, so I am very optimistic about the Seahawks team here going forward, and obviously reasons why. Okay, Buffalo up 24-10 here on the Green Bay Packers, who nobody cares about anymore all of a sudden. Aaron Rodgers is high on ayahuasca, possibly mushrooms at the moment. Shoutouts to him having a sermon in his own mind, deciding whether Andromeda is close enough to astral travel to, while Josh Allen is on protein powder and spirulina milkshakes, throwing to Stephon Diggs for 900 yards a game. And the only thing I don't understand about the Bills is why they can't really just find that dynamic running back. They might go after that in free agency. I do like Singletary, and yeah, you got to think that James Cook could be something, obviously. But I want to see down the stretch here, if I'm the Bills, who are clearly the front runners for the dance, get a running back that can make it so Allen doesn't have to run here for the back half of the season and risk something. So go and make a play there. But the Bills are just a fantastic team. Why don't these elite QBs play in the preseason then? Geno played a lot of preseason games and it seemed to have helped. Yeah, the Geno Smith enigma and saga was so incredibly, the narrative around Smith and Locke was, you guys know me, that's the one thing I really missed on, was Geno being amazing. I never said he was bad. I always thought he was good. I didn't think he had the closing ability, even though I always thought he was a dog. I just didn't think he had that ability. And maybe a lot of that ability is because he didn't have these bookend left tackles to keep people off of him. And over the first few weeks, he was still suffering those bad late game sacks. But it looks like they've picked up those protections in the fourth quarter, and they're not able to get their hands on Geno here at the end of games, and he's just stepping up and making amazing plays. So Geno Smith, looking at where he's bounced around, the Giants, the Chargers, got his opportunities. He had a similar story to Drew Lock, actually, in the sense that he started pretty good in his rookie year and played pretty well, but then he got benched and the narrative just pitched against him. But he was so humble to just stay with the Seattle Seahawks, and play in the tutelage of, and not lose his mind, and just keep learning. And this is uncharted territory. A different story than the Kurt Warner story, but maybe equally as crazy in the sense of, he's playing a lights-out football right now. I think if Geno Smith wanted to throw for 400-plus yards and 3 TDs at this stage, he could do that and put up those kind of numbers, but it wouldn't make the team better. So the most impressive part to me about the Smith saga is that he's making his team better by making the right decisions, and it's completely unselfish how the Seattle Seahawks are playing right now. That rant just took a few people out of the chat, my bad. But JF Kumar with another super. $10. Thank you so much, man. If Geno had played last year against the Packers instead of Russ, we definitely would have not been shut down totally. So I don't think that last year's Geno Smith was quite the player he is now. It takes a lot of starts to get into a rhythm, but he was definitely better than I gave him credit for, and a few people saw that. Props to them for seeing that in Smith, and props to the coaching staff for seeing it as well, because they knew the players around him were talking about it, but not very many people saw that, and it's awesome to see. But Giant also says, I'm guessing it is so that they don't keep up their play secrets for film. Correct. That is an awesome point, Giant. Let me know if I'm pronouncing that right. Thank you, Daddy Fastsax. The Geno point, I think, is just the truth there. I want to bring up that too. So Giant was saying, you don't want to show the playbook. You don't want to show your QB tendencies too early in the season. Now, this is a great point, because what is the answer to what Geno Smith is doing? Giant. So how are these teams going to mitigate what the Seahawks are doing? People need to ask themselves that. That's something that you raised a great point, and I'm really excited about, because there has not been really a lot of exotic stuff from Seattle outside of that crack toss, that quick Kels pass that we did to Disley, which is an awesome play, by the way. We've been playing pretty straightforward football. Like, a lot of good running, a lot of outside zone running, a lot of mixing up of tight ends. I guess you could watch and prevent the bootlegs and stuff, maybe, if you roll those out, but I think the Seahawks have way more weapons than people really respect, if you leave Noah Fant or Kobe Parkinson completely alone, or a Marquise Goodwin, or even a D. Eskridge completely alone for that matter, it might not end up well for you. These are good NFL players. We are extremely deep on offense. Go Hawks, reflect the sun. Welcome back. What's up, fam? Good to see you here. We here, we live, baby. We live in effect. Your boy Wes here, Seahawktopmist Prime. I got that Sunday night game on, having a good time. Geno took the time to develop and showcase himself. Happy for him, Saijin says. I just hope he keeps spreading the ball. Whoop, whoop. Just another dub, says Reflect the Sun. Hell yeah. Heck yeah. Heck yeah, buddy. That's a great point. Geno is not going to change all of a sudden and fall off. I'm not going to hold my tongue with that, because him looking for the right play for the team is what he's trying to do every single snap. He is not staring down anybody. And what is it resulting in? Production. DK Metcalf was wide open in the end zone today. He could have still been on the cart from the time he had to go take a dump and still been open there. He was wide open. You're starting to have to respect everything because everybody's getting utilized. So that's a great point, right? Like last week, Goodwin got his, and Tyler always gonna get his, and we're looking really good. You got that once or twice a game play to Fant, Disley, Parkinson. Everyone's getting looks. So if you look at the Seahawks film study as a defensive coordinator, you go, man, they just throw it to everybody. How do we make this team one-dimensional? What's scary about that is you might start overlooking the past, the fact that DK and Tyler can be so dominant, or Ken can be so dominant. So Pete might troll you for a half and just really go heavy on one of those players, and then, keep legs fresh. It's just there's so much can happen when you're playing good football. I won't get too deep into that, but that's some real nerd stuff. But that's what I see. Chuy Suarez says, do you think we can finish 11-6 or 12-5? Hey, we might not win another game. I don't know how we finish, but 12-win season is not out of the question for a team with this type of momentum. We're playing 2, 3, and 5 teams coming up here that don't look very good. Yes, they are good teams, but they don't look good right now. They're not deep. Even with Hopkins returning, I think that gives them more spice. But I'm telling you right now, if they try to get crazy and just go beeline to Hopkins every down and stuff like that, the Seahawks are going to just destroy them. Like, we aren't scared of anybody right now. And I'm not saying we're an unbeatable team, but we could be 11-6 for sure here. I think reality is just like, you lose a few games in the NFL. Things don't go your way. Balls don't bounce. That could have happened today. We had that 14-14 area. They could have punched it in, but our defense is picking it up. So I got plus 10 wins at this stage. Woolen versus Hopkins is going to be awesome. Totally. Jayant Kumar says, I think as the season progresses, other teams will be prepped for us more, and we might not win as much. I want to feel that way, Jayant, but I think that would have happened already, man. I'm going to be point blank, period. No one's better at scheming than Dable, and he did his best today with feisty, exotic. You get feisty and exotic, and we just throw hot reads. You try to overstuff. We audible to run. We have weapons that make it so you really can't completely shut us down. You can limit us and hope things happen, like you get the turnovers and stuff, but shutting us down completely might be a little bit out of the question at this stage. I'm gonna call it what it is. Saijin just says, Wes, you just use the H word. Put $5 in the jar, please. Speaking of $5 in the jar, Fat Daddy Stacks, I'm gonna donate that to the cuss jar. Another $5 super, Fat Daddy Stacks. Where are you from, Fat Daddy Stacks? Let's get to know you a little bit. Where are you from, bro? You don't got to tell us. But where are you from, brother? He says the series that involved the toss to Uncle Will was a mastermind play called Drive. Yes, that has to worry. Yes, things like that. A Travis Kelce toss to Uncle Will, who runs a 5.40 on his best day. Uncle Will, who I feel like raised somewhere near Walla Walla, who was like part of an orchard farming family, an apple orchard family who planted, ousts trees with his bare hands. What a legend. You got to be worried about the diversity of Waldron's offense. And we brought Waldron in to be this creative. And man, it took him a while to hit strides, but it's out of control now. Like, he's looking crazy scary. He's just mixing it up. This has to be worry defensive. Fat Daddy Stacks, it has to worry defensive coordinators. I love your point here. If I'm like if I'm the Tampa Bay Bucks here, I'm thinking, man, like, I really gotta get feisty and super aggressive and hope I can just sack Geno. But Geno knows what you're gonna try to do. Fat Daddy Stacks with $2 just to tell me he lives in Hawaii on the Big Island. God. Oh, I'm so jealous, man. Oh my God, mahalo, bro. You know what? I've only been to Maui. Am I tripping? Should I take my family to Big Island next? God, I love Hawaiian Islands, man. Man, that made me take a break. Hawaii, it's like New Earth. And I know I don't live there, so I don't have what it's really like to live in the state of Hawaii or whatever. But man, when I go there, I just feel a certain level of cool. You know what I mean? Like, it makes me feel like I'm a cooler person. So Fat Daddy Stacks, shout out to Hawaii, all of Polynesian culture, which is obviously prominent in the NFL. I love Polynesian culture and Hawaiian culture. I don't know if that's even derogatory saying that, because that might be too generalizing. Like, I guess, I just am such a fan of everything that is that, because every time I go to Maui, I don't go on a tourist vibe. I got some friends there now, and I mix it up with the culture, and holy crap, I learned so much, and it's, so deep to think these people, they're just so strong and so well-rooted and grounded, cats that are, message retracted. What did you do, Saijen? What did you say? People who are some of these Hawaiian people, not just stereotype, but some of these dudes are so massive. They could just pick me up and just chuck me, but they're just hey bro, how you doing today, bro? You good, bro? And just I hope you had a good night, bro. And just man, that's cool, man. Because I know where I'm from. If some dudes are that big, they're flexing. Let's see, man. The Lulu. Reflect the Sun says the ability of Geno to do it all now is far different than when they figured out the Russell Wilson offense and started for protect. Yes. So You know Russell's not going to throw the middle of the field. You do cloud coverage on Metcalf and Lockett. You keep everything underneath. You try to get turnovers and blitz the edges and force Russ and this. Gino, it can step up in the pocket and he can still run. So when you don't play for 9 years or whatever, you don't have 9 years of legs injuries on you. Gino is looking fresh as as ever. And he's a threat to run, so you can't necessarily just collapse everything. And now that they got these guys kind of doing these hot read stuff, so when the blitz is coming, Gino's like, okay, cool, I'll call this play. He'll allow the blitz to come. Abe and Charles know just to push the guy to the outside, force them to try to get him, and Gino knows what to do. Gino just, if he can find a lane and there's no interior pressure, dude, he's just finding dudes, man. And that's just awesome, man. You stay back and you sink back, he'll have DK on comeback routes. So it's kind of crazy. Shout outs to Hawaii Islands, Kauai, Hawaii, Oahu, and Big Island there. I can't wait to visit Big Island. If I do visit Big Island, Fat Daddy Stacks, if I do visit Big Island, will you come and have a, show me something dope there? Like, show me where it's at. If I come out there with my family and stuff, am I good? Am I good in Hawaii? I just want to be good in Hawaii. I don't care about the rest. Like, I want to be like okay in Tacoma and like, be able to cruise through Puyallup. But man, I want to be good in Hawaii. I'm just kidding, y'all. I love y'all. Oof. This is a fun chat, guys. Even though there's 10 of us, I don't care. I love the intimate, like these cool like groups that we get going in here. Is so much fun to me because I love talking to you guys, not just like stream and hope that I get these super. I'm here. I have a question. Does Pete Carroll call plays on defense? I think sometimes. I think him and Clint have exactly the same philosophy, and Pete is passing the torch, guys, right now. I hope he is head coach for years to come. Don't get it twisted, but he is passing some of he's humbling himself and letting these young defensive and offensive minds get creative out there. So Kai Nalu, man, I've been to Maui. When I go to Maui, man, I stay in Paia. I have a friend out there who lives in Paia, bro. So I've been there a few times. It's been some years, but I love Maui, bro. And I can't wait to go back and visit my friends there. And hopefully when I'm out there, when that ever happens, hopefully I can get into a position to do that next year. I'm going to come say hi. And maybe we'll do one of these at during football season, we'll go to one of the bars in Kihei or something and, live stream from there. That'd be fun, right? Y'all know what I'm saying if you've ever been to Maui. But yeah, thank you so much for shouting yourself out. This D is getting really good, right? That is correct. My Brazilian hombre, C, as I believe they would say in Portuguese. Yes, they are getting really good in any language. They're getting good, man. That's a joke from earlier. Reflect the Sun with a $5 super. Did you send the super just to send it because you're just dope? He says at Fat Daddy Stacks, be safe. Knows the volcano. How's that volcano doing? I hear it erupts. Yeah, the Big Island. That's the one thing, right? Let me go back to that. I hear it nearing or about to erupt. Oh gosh, that's gonna happen soon. Yeah, they know what they're doing. They know how that acts, and thank goodness for modern seismology studies. It can be devastating to those communities, I'm sure, but so much support. And this is just awesome because if something happens there and there's like a fund or something, I'm gonna do something to help because my bros are out there in Hawaii. Reflect the Sun. I gotta ask you about your profile pic. Who is that lady? What does that mean to you? Because that's a really cool profile pic, and I'm a big fan of kind of like film noir, Americana stuff. So break that down for the chat here. Sajid said, man, happy for Russ. He got one today. He knows he messed up. Yeah, he went to the wrong team. For sure. Yeah, killer win. Come to Maui says, definitely will be. We talked about that. Been to Maui 3 times. Sajid says, yes. It's so dope. Absolutely. Fat Daddy Sex says, I will have a guest house built in a year or two. Woo! That sounds fire. Congrats on that, man. Hey, bro, have you been to Central Washington, like by the Vantage area? I haven't spent a lot of time there. One of my friends actually has a place in Leavenworth. He's got a cabin in Leavenworth. I think that's more mountainous side, of course. But I haven't spent much time in Tri-Cities or anything like that. I got to go out that way, though.
Um, some people tell me it's like don't go out that way. It's kind of sketch and all that stuff. But I'm a traveler, so I got to check out. I got to check out the central and stuff, and go and explore everything. I really want to spend more time in Wyoming and Montana as well. Just beautiful country. And guys, I'm oddly enough, I'm a big like Western guy. I love Western stuff. On my mother's side, her father was a big cowboy type person, like an actual like competed in some of the stampedes and stuff. And that's just crazy. So we'll get into more of that stuff later. But I'm big into the Western culture, and the First Nations cultures of those areas fascinate me too. All the way through down there to Arizona. I can't wait to just visit more of that stuff. I'm a big traveler. I love it. I love culture. I love learning about culture and respecting all of that stuff. But no, Chewy. Shout outs to you, man. Tell me more about that area. If that's where you live, shout outs to you. Kanalu, Hannah. Been to Hannah a few times, bro. It's so beautiful. All the tourist stuff must be so annoying to you guys. Like, road to Hannah. Like, here it is, road to Hannah. Like, get out of here, man. Like, just go and chill. Go and get some food. Go and support local business. Stay out of the way of people, man. Stay out of the people's way. Like when you're a tourist in places like that, just like be cool, man. Don't be annoying. Like go and learn from people. But shout outs Hannah, beautiful. If you've never been to Maui and you've never been to that side of the crater Haleakala in Maui, it is gotta be, the west side of Maui, for those who haven't been there, is got lots of beaches. Lahaina, the northwest, is really kind of touristy. I'm more of a fan as a traveler of Southwest, like Wailea and Kihei, and I love the whole island. But yeah, the upcountry, the central, I love, and I love Hana. I love the east. That's kind of the tropical, the rain side, but just beautiful. See what's going on here. Guanrelea Sunday brunch. Man, what do you think I'm balling? I would need like a few more super chats to go to the Guanrelea Sunday brunch. But I heard about it. I'm more of a Airbnb something in Kihei or somebody's garden suite. I mean, I'm not broke, y'all, but I mean, like, Hawaii is really expensive right now. Let's see what's popping off here. We got 12 in the chat. We can keep it at 12 if you want to. But Grand Wailea Resort is beautiful for sure. Reflect the sun. You didn't answer me about that profile. Oh, it's Tina. My bad. I'll get into that. But yeah, I'll look you up, man. Yeah. Okay. You're from Hana. Dope. But you live on Big. Oh, that's Tina Turner when she was in Hollywood Squares. Saw her in concert and love her music. Yo, Tina Turner, a legend, man. Tina Turner is so fire. And that's a really beautiful picture, bro. And that's super cool. Tina Turner is so dope. Big classic music fan, Motown. I love all that stuff. We can get into that. You guys are going to like me more and more as you get to know me. I'm a diverse person. I am one of those people that when it comes to general knowledge, if you play me a Trivial Pursuit, you'll be like, what the hell is wrong with this person? What's wrong with this dude? Chewy says you should come by here, bro. The views of the Columbia is beautiful. Yeah, so I got some family in interior British Columbia, which is like north of there in Trail, BC. So I've been around the river for sure. But yeah, beautiful, man. People that sleep on Washington, and yeah, if you've never been to the Northwest, man, you just don't have a clue how sick it is. It's so beautiful. But I'll check it out sometime for sure, Chewy. Big ups to Uncle Will, Montana. Yeah, Uncle Will. What did he say on like Two Balloons that he like played QB for a couple or was running back? Today he was on special teams, like going nuts. Yeah, Montana. Only Montana will build a guy. Like I bet you, Nick. Let me calm down. I bet you that Will Disley could like make a horse saddle with like his elbows. He's country strong. He's like he's rancher strong. Sajid said, Bigfoot, dang it. Tell the truth. I know you guys have some stories.
I'm about the culture and travel to those weird out of here stories. So yo, sometimes I listen to this podcast. It's called the Sasquatch Chronicles, and it's done by this guy Wes Germer, who's from Washington. It's so cool. If you want to check out a Sasquatch podcast, listen to the Sasquatch Chronicles, and your entire perception of like that world might change because it's crazy. I don't have any direct Bigfoot stories myself. No, I have a few weird bear things that have happened when I've been out in the Northwest. Nothing too egregious. Haven't run into a Sasquatch per se, but I will tell you that I know some people that have some weird stories, man. Laughing my ass off. Thanks, man. Come visit anytime, Kalinalu says. I'll show you around. Hell yeah, bro. We're going to go hard. Yeah, that's just dope, man. We're going to do our thing. Jan West, you're going to the Grammys this year, aren't you? Well, like 100%. Like, you know, I don't know if I'll be nominated for like most obnoxious Seahawks fan category, but if I win that award, you know, I'll definitely share the spoils of my prize there. The Packers been crash and burn. You guys were paid for your silence. The Packers are really crashing and burning, Giant. Yes, it's over and done with for those guys. Oh, big pick! Just as we talked to. Whoa! And he throws a lateral. What's going on? Oh, it's the fourth quarter. It's too late anyway. But Kai says, I hope to get there soon. Want to check out the Redwood Forest. Yes. The Redwood Forest is insane, and I've spent time in Northern California, and it is. And Southern Oregon, it's one of the most eerie places ever. I'm telling you that right now. At night in NorCal, I don't feel cool, man. Like, it's got a lot of crazy stuff. Like, I won't get crazy on that stuff. There's for another type of channel. But, bro, and ladies and gents, it is different. Fat Daddy Stack says, never been to Maui, but I live on the raining side of the island. And have a homestead totally off-grid with like 100 chickens. Yes! So don't get much opportunity to travel, but love it. That's awesome. Fat Daddy Stacks, that's my dream, is to be able to just have some animals and do my thing. But you sound like you got like a country spot in Hawaii. Trust me, man. That's the dream. That's the dream. Hundo Parascent. Brian, he says, your stream is about 5 seconds ahead of my direct TV feed. I'm sorry. I'll stop talking that ish on this game if you want. Talking about the Redwood Forest on Maui. Okay, so maybe you mean the bamboo forest? Is that what you mean? That part of Maui? There is upcountry. There's like Kaului, you know, maybe there is a Redwood Forest. Maybe I'm tripping. But yeah, like I've mobbed through I did the bamboo walk, which is amazing but touristy. But I did the hike up there to the peaks there. That was pretty dope. No, it's all good. I thought you might be clairvoyant. I am clairvoyant. I am predicting that the Seattle Seahawks will, let me get my Ravine on, my Dionne Warwick. The Seattle Seahawks will play the Arizona Cardinals, and that the face of the Cardinals coach, Kingsbury, will still be punchable. Pete Carroll will be chewing gum on the sideline. Ken Walker will have 124 yards and 3 touchdowns and 40 receiving yards. The Seattle Seahawks will win the game 33-14. I don't know. The man they call Ravine. All 70 you in the attack. No, there's a Redwood Forest on Maui. The Redwood Forest is near the Bamboo Forest. Yeah, okay. So I have marched through there. My bad. I just wasn't looking at the title. Brian, he laughed his ass off at that. That sounded pretty fun. That was funny. I lost a lot of viewers on that rant. The Redwood Forest is in Kula. I got you. So it's upcountry. Very, very, very cool. To all 6 of you that have stuck it out here, I'm over an hour and a half into the stream here. Thank you guys for coming through here. It's super fun. Yeah, thoughts about the future of the Tampa Bay thoughts about our future game with Tampa Bay and Munich. We'll be playing so far away, change things for our win probability. I think, though, away games favor teams that travel an egregious amount. Aaron Rodgers with another interceptions. Man, that guy's falling apart, though. Yes, I do think it kind of hurts in some ways, but it might help Seattle because I would wager that the Seahawks playing in Germany. The Seahawks are probably I know are an extremely popular team in Germany. Like, and there's freak 12s that will travel there just to go off. And I think that the Seahawks, that'll be more of a home game for the Seahawks in the sense of the crowd presence. And the fact Seattle is used to huge long flights. You know what I mean? Like, flying to Germany for the Seattle Seahawks will be like a little bit more time than flying to an East Coast game when you're flying at a Northwest. So I'll give the advantage to Seattle on the travel kind of bug element to that game. So it's a 50-50 game. Maybe I favor Seattle as a Seahawks fan a little bit, just based on the fact that I think Brady not being having any mobility and their receiving core being pretty banged up still. I don't know. It's Brady, right? You can't be too crazy, but they'll probably give them the line in that game. Maybe us by 3 if we had come out and win the next game. But we'll see. I like our chances though. Thoughts about our future? Yeah, so there you go, Giant. That's my thought. Thanks, Kai. Says Fat Daddy Stacks. Sai just says, man, don't let me get on stage saying, first of all, I like to honor God, everyone, and everyone. I have so many people to thank. Oh, and for someone to say, get the F off the stage. Okay, yeah, they'll start playing the music on us. And then Wes is still going off. And I'm like, I'm still trying to tell people about like a game Nick Ballore played in college or something. They're like, cue the music. Fat Daddy Stack said, I'm a Uruk native from the California Redwoods. What? That's dope, Fat Daddy Stack. So you grew up in California, in NorCal, and live in Hawaii now, is I think what I'm getting there. Uruk, is that like Eureka area? Or like where is that? Is that a town itself? Like I've been through there hella times. I just don't stop much because it's like either going to the Bay to stay or Southern California. But yeah, that's super interesting. And making a move to Miami or to Hawaii is bold. Still got 6 diehards in the chat. It is what it is. But having a good time. That's for sure. And this game is pretty much out of hand. Yeah. Klamath area. Okay. So yeah, for sure. Klamath Falls and all that. That's super like woods, That's awesome. That must be interesting around there. There's like what's your thoughts on that area? Like, is it super sketchy? Like in the sense of like, is it edgy? Is it dangerous? Is it kind of weird? Is it very like, is that part overrated? Because the rest of the world and everyone paints a picture of Northern California as kind of like Twilight Zone area, Speaking of the Twilight Zone, the freaking Packers suck. Man, I was raised in San Diego. I appreciate your input tonight. Yeah, man, I lived in San Diego for quite some time, too, as a youth when I was young. So shout-outs to you for that. Yeah, bro. Like, it's been a good stream tonight, man. We had a lot of fun. Unexpected. I didn't even think I was going to stream. I didn't announce it. But my fam was off doing something else, and I was like, you know what, let me just hop on here, catch up with everybody, watch the game. It hasn't been much of a game here. I mean, I thought Buffalo was going to boat race them further, that they were going to beat up on them further, but you don't really have to. You can, the 22-year drought ravaging forest and destroying everything. Crazy sort of being the Debbie down. Yeah, I mean, that part's crazy, guys. Whoa, James Cook with just a crazy run. My father, Reflect the Sun, is an environmental foresting forest. He has a PhD and all that. He's a 30-plus year forester and one of the people who's maybe one of the lead mathematicians on forest ecoscience, that kind of stuff. I am not, but don't worry about being grim because I have conversations with that person that would blow your mind if you're into that kind of stuff. So no worries about that. You should do a collaboration with other Seahawks channels too. I want to, Jayanth. I'm not saying no. So I just think I'm really humble. I don't want to bug these people, but it's time for me to reach out. So maybe that's up on you guys to say, hey, check out this guy Wes. He knows football. He would make an engaging guest, and I'd be happy to go on those channels and talk to those guys and do a podcast and just contribute and do my thing. I would love it. I love collaborating on that stuff. I definitely should. Yeah, I mean, whatever. Like, I do my own thing. But, like, the more people say to somebody that's established like that, like, hey, Wes, this guy Wes is cool. You probably like his stuff. Then when I go there, I'm not just some person like, hey, can I You know, not that people are above one another, but you know what it is. You know how that is. Friends in Medford nearly didn't get out. Damn, that's scary. That's so scary. The fires, man, for sure. That is scary. Sajid said, "No, Wes. I know you were when we won this. Only reason I'm here. I knew you would. No offense. I know you were. I know you were when. I know you were when we won this. I don't get it. Only reason I'm here. I knew you would. No offense. I'm bringing it up on your other channels. I've been bringing it up. I don't really get what you said there, bro. No, if I don't get that part, but it's all good. Probably just having a brain fart myself. I'm going to bring up you on other channels. Your energy is needed in our families. I appreciate that, Jay Anthony. This is authentic, and it always has been. Like I want y'all to know, like I really love this stuff, and this is how I am. I get hype, I get hype about football, and yeah, like. I think a lot of the times, like a lot of the vlogs are a little reserved. People just want to, as long as you're being yourself, it is what it is. Oh, shout outs to them giving that kid that pick ball there. That was cool. I'm going to, blah, blah, blah. Makes sense, Giant says. Yep. Fat Daddy Sack says, I've been around 5,000 family members there. I have around 5,000 family members, so I don't know about sketchy, but I probably wouldn't go there not knowing anything about being respectful of Mother Nature for sure. So, that is an awesome point. It's like, just be respectful about what's going on wherever you go, and you're usually going to be good. Channel tonight. Word, man. Yeah, let people know, man. Let people know what I do here. That's the best way to help me, or not help me, help like whatever our community is, because we have, I have patience for you, and you have patience to listen to my thoughts about the team. That's what's so dope about this. It's not like a lopsided thing or relationship. It's like, I just want to be able to talk with y'all and feel like I'm able to reach out and have the conversations about football that I want to have. And yeah, man, it's super fun, guys. So what y'all think, man? Should I wrap it up or should I keep going? We're at an hour and a half. I don't want to talk your guys' night off here. But yeah, we're having a freaking blast out here, so we can keep it rolling if you want. I would love you if I would love if you ever chose to live stream a game. I did one, bro. I did the what did I do? That was it the Lions game? I did one. It was freaking fire. It was crazy. And it was just me and the camera watching the game and saying what was going on, but okay, I'll give you that. I'll get one for sure. Maybe the Raiders game would be fun. Thanks for the super once again, brother. I really appreciate that. That is freaking dope. Thanks so much for the super chat, for real, Fat Daddy Sacks. That really makes it. Really, it's not that the money motivates, but it really like means a lot, man. It's just kind of like, I don't know, man. It's like a weird gratification. If that sounds awkward, but it's like. It's just cool to know that you guys like what I'm doing here, supers or not. You just love the channel. I think people really love it, and that's really making me feel good, man. It really is, guys and gals. Keep going. Damn, I need to put 10 in the jar. Gosh darn it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk a little bit more about the game that we just played, though. Ken Walker was just a couple jukes away from having a big game again. And he, his balance on the touchdown run that he had, his ability to stay on his feet is probably, other than Saquon, it looks like he has the best balance in the league. Like him and Kamara, those types of guys, and those are the guys that you see have these 2-3 TD games. And it's no question that they're just special core strength, special balance, vision. Wow, it's just getting crazy. The secondary keeps developing. Quandre looks like he's getting back in rhythm. It takes a while to come off of a leg break. We saw it with Tyler Lockett. It took him like a year and a bit to come back fully, like with confidence and speed. And it looks like because of the nature of the fracture of Quandre, like just now these last couple games, he's got his legs, and that's been a big thing for us because Quandre really anchors that stuff. And if he's able to come downhill and be fast, we can look good there. Peace out, brother. Big ups and continue this. Kai, I'm going to keep it rocking, man. It's been hard because you get these ups and downs with the YouTube channel. But honestly, brother, people like you, man, they really I'm not just saying that, man. They really motivate me to keep rocking, man, and have the conversations. Peace out, bro. You have a great evening too, man. Awesome. Thanks for hanging out, Giant. Thanks for the supers, and thank you for your continued support and sharing this channel. And I know you do it for the love of the Seahawks, man, not just West or whatever. You do it for the team. So, like, people like you and fans like you are the reason we are the most special fan base, man, because we support each other. We pick each other up, just like you saw the team today. That's the nature of it. That's what other fan bases might not see. We are different. It's a family thing. But yeah, peace out, Kai. Fat Daddy Stacks, a sense of achievement, totally a human experience. Absolutely. Absolutely trapped. Reflect the Sun says, we can't get out due to the family with health issues. I see. Don't want the COVID. So great to meet fans online. Hell yeah. Like, that's what's so cool is, like, I feel like I'm just at the bar, like at the restaurant with y'all watching the game. I've always felt that way on this channel and the lives. Like, it's starting to feel different than I thought it would. Like, I'm not at, like, it's not this weird thing. It's like a normal vibe, natural. I love doing it. But yeah, on that note, I'm going to wrap it up, I think, because we've had a great night. It's time to decompress. Sajin, thank you with the $10. Thank you, Sajin. I really appreciate you, my brother. And I'll be watching you comment on other stuff too. And you really drop knowledge, man. And you really check people who are offside too. Romeo Dubs is good, by the way. You check people in the right way, in a constructive way, and the trolls. And like, if I ever do stuff like that, man, maybe we could have some people, if they want to do mod and stuff like that. I'll be doing more of like I'll be doing a cooler stream when I get my my MacBook set up for this that has like more graphic and stuff, and it will need like mods and stuff as the channel grows. But I don't care, like, if anyone, no one has to do anything to help this. Just helping me is just being here. But you sending that, thank you, man. That was dope, man. Thank you so much, man. That means so much, bro. And yeah, shout outs to you, man. Shout outs to everybody that tuned in tonight. Remember to watch a lot of football. Go and watch the game again. We're going to learn a lot from this Giants game because this was not a gimme. The media will play that narrative, but boy, it was not a gimme. The Giants were playing super hard. And yeah, the tip jar. Thank you. Golly gee, Wally. Thank you so much. G Willikers on my channel. We keep it clean. We keep it 100% Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean. But huge win for the Hawks today. Alan Armitage, yo, thanks for coming in here, man. I'm just about to end it, but huge win for the Hawks. 5-3, guys. Out in front of the division. This is insane. We're changing the narrative of the NFL because it's gone beyond Geno Smith having this generational story. This is a good football team you're looking at right here. And there's every single phase of the team comes into play of why we are a good football team. And we have done all the right things in this offseason to really dominate. And it's getting to a point now where I have the Seahawks as a contender is a tough word to say, but as just a really good team. They can be great if they really pull away here in this stretch going into the bye. That would make them, I think, could be potentially great. If they can win the next two and go into the bye, then we're going to be having a whole nother narrative, and this channel will probably have taken launched by then. But I'm going to tell you what, and here's my promise to you: I'm never going to change who I am. Not that I'm giving some victory lap speech, but if you come to the Seahawks Times, I'm not going to bullshit you guys. I'm never going to troll and get super defensive when people criticize things that I say. I'm going to take all the criticism and try to use it to improve as a person and in the channel. But we aren't going to take no nonsense here as Seahawks fans. You're not going to tell us that we're trash and we suck, because we're going to check you with facts. And on the game, we're going to check you. And that's what Seahawks football is right now. Win or lose, we're getting back to being somebody you don't want to play. And, whoo, boy, if we come out here, you know what I'm saying? Please don't. I prefer real people. Yeah, no. I was never intending, but like, I want to keep it an organic channel and not get it all glimmer and glats if it goes in. Not that other Seahawks vloggers are doing that at all, but that's what I love about our fan base and our community. But yeah, I'll make it better. I'll get the mic, I'll get the backdrops, I'll get the clean camera, the Canon, and just make it super dope. So it makes your visual enjoying an audio experience more enjoyable. And when you send a super, you get your shot out. And I'm gonna get really creative and try to like have unique pop-ups and stuff like that, and just make it a lot of fun, man, and do a lot more streaming because streaming is fun and reaction videos. I want to get more into that. But it is what it is. Go Hawks! It's your boy Wes here, Seahawktopmist Prime, signing out. Much love and peace, and enjoy your week, guys. Reflect the Sun, super fun, 3 in a row. Let's get 4. I'm seeing 210 points for the Seahawks. Best in the whole NFC point score. Yeah, we got the best offense almost in the NFL. Wes, keep doing your thing. Love the energy, man. I keep it coming. Keep it coming. Not enough coffee today, but I did my thing. And I love you guys, Reflect the Sun, and I don't want to be awkward about, but I do have a lot of love for people that support and are good human beings, and that's what it comes down to. But you know what it is? It's a Seahawks thing. We won today. Tap the Go vest. It is what it is. Go and cop your woolen jerseys. Go support the Seattle Seahawks. Go and do something good this week, man. Go out and hold a door open for an old person. Let's do something good here this next couple days, man. Like, let's just go out and be great. Like, not on some Russell pep talk, but let's just go do some good stuff. I've been feeling kind of down. I get seasonally depressed. So my way to get out of it is like just do something good for somebody else. And that kind of helps me. So that's my only